Hey everyone, it's great to see you. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about The Forgotten City, developed by company The Modern Storyteller, Australian developer, and the core developer on it, Nick Pierce. This game has an interesting history because before it was even thought up to be a standalone game, it was originally a mod built for Skyrim. And after the mod had come out and was so successful and praised, Nick decided, hey, I'll hire some developers and we'll turn this into a full game as our own studio. Nick worked a lot on doing the original mod, spending some about 2,000 hours worth of time just developing it. And then, once the game came out, or the mod came out, excuse me, and they went on to start working on the game, this was a 4.5 year process with what has been described by Nick to be some hard days and weeks, working like 80 hours a week to avoid crunch on anybody else at the company. So if that was the case for Nick, take some time for yourself every once in a while. Also good on you for ensuring that your developers didn't experience that alongside you. A PlayStation 5 game. So this came out pretty recently. I actually don't know the exact release date, but sometime in 2021, I believe. And as you can see with most modern games, very straightforward packaging here. Nothing too interesting to look at. And what the game's about, you play as a character who's been pulled out of a river by a woman, and she says, hey, my friend, there was another guy I'd found. He went into these ruins nearby and said he'd be back, but it's been a long while. Can you go in and look for him? And so you do just that, and you go into these ruins, and it turns out that there was a old Roman city hidden in these ruins that's been that way for a long time. And you venture far in enough, and you end up traveling back in time. And when you come out, the city is alive, and there's people, and it's modernized. It doesn't look ruined and run down anymore. But there's something very interesting about this city, and it's that all of the citizens in it adhere to the Golden Rule, which anyone kind of familiar with Western philosophy or values should probably know the generalities of the Golden Rule. But this is a city without sin. And the thing about this city is that if someone does commit sin, then everybody dies. And so the real premise becomes the current leader of the city, I just forget his name off the top of my head. It's been a few days since I've played this game. You meet with him, and he tells you, somebody in the city is going to commit and break the Golden Rule. I need you to find out who that is and stop them. And so you go on this mystery hunt to find who that person is or understand what's going on in the city and essentially get out or stop the crime from being broken and so on and so forth. And I had a lot of fun playing this game. The story itself was very intriguing. And when they originally wrote the mod, the game itself expanded like 2 times over the script and the dialogue and brought in professional voice acting and really built the game out. And so the story up to the point of the ultimate reveal really gives you a lot of options to deal with characters in different ways and to really make it your own. And one of the most exciting things about it is if there's ever a mistake or something happens, you can just go and steal an item or commit a crime and again just run back to the portal and reverse everything to try again. So you kind of are in this Groundhog Day situation. And so it really invites the idea that the player should experiment and try different things and different approaches to different characters. I have a couple good examples. And early on I needed money. You need money to do some things. And so I found a stash with I think 10,000 gold or something in it. And I thought to myself, well, I've realized I can take items back through this portal for my next run. So I wonder if that holds true for gold. And so I took the gold, and of course the gods get angry, and everybody starts getting killed. So I run back to the portal, and when I come back out, hey, I still have the gold. And so I thought that was really cool, just the experience of, oh, okay, I'm starting to see how I can get away with things in this world using this time loop, and how it'll help me kind of progress forward a little bit. There's another great part where this woman is waiting near a door. She says, oh my God, someone's come in, and they have a bow and arrows, and they're going to shoot somebody, I believe. And she gets scared and runs into a shrine, and the shrine collapses on her. Well, that's not good for her. But next time in the time loop, knowing her actions and knowing that she's going to do that, I told her, oh, hey, wait, don't go in that shrine. Go somewhere else. It's not safe, I promise. And of course she did, and that spared her life. And then that opens up an opportunity to get information from her, or have dialogue from her, that will help kind of progress the adventure along. And that's kind of what this game comes down to. It's mostly like a walking and talking sim. You walk around the city, you meet everybody, you get their piece of the story, start to get their knowledge on what's going on here. And when you talk to a certain someone, it might open up new avenues for exploration and discussing things with another person, and so on and so forth. And so when you do things like save the woman from the bathhouse and you get the opportunity to talk to her, you're kind of creating a circumstance in which you can begin to streamline your gameplay. And there will be, when you get later into the game, a gentleman, once you've understood some of the solutions to get you far enough along into areas you want to be later. And you can tell him, hey, just go run and do this and save this person and tell this person that and give this person the medicine. And it's pretty fun because you really start to see what took you quite a bit of time up front is now taking no time at all and creating a fun gameplay experience for you. I thought that the world's pretty cool. It's kind of small geographically, but there's a lot of depth to it. You'll go in a building and look around, and then you realize, oh, there's this nook or cranny here. Oh, actually, this nook or cranny leads to a giant cave, and that cave leads to this giant labyrinth. Or you'll go explore the top of a peak, and you realize, oh, I can use this height to my advantage to get into another place. So on and so forth. And the navigation is just you running around. It'll feel a lot like you're playing Skyrim, from talking to people to walking to, having that experience. But I think it serves itself pretty well here. And the game and the space it preoccupies is just the right amount of space and just the right amount of game for you to basically be able to compartmentalize everything going on in your mind without losing track of it, so that you can constantly progress forward through the title. So I thought from that lens, the game is very fun to play, it's very fun to experiment in, and easy enough to navigate. And so that's pretty cool. Sound-wise, I don't remember much of the music from this. If there is much, it's just kind of like your overall background music. So I think a lot of the time what you're going to be hearing is dialogue. And all the lines are very well delivered, and you can tell they're professionally voice acted. Which is pretty cool for kind of what one would consider an indie title, so to speak. And so, not so much to add here, but I did find it to be competent and enjoyable. Graphically, the game runs on, I think, Unreal Engine 4, and it plays at a very smooth, I think, 60 frames. It's an enjoyable game to run around in. It looks great. The lighting especially looks nice on the city, and yeah, not so much to say graphically either. I would say it has that Skyrim style to it, which I would imagine it too, based on its roots, so to speak. But it was a fun return to form, I guess, for that. So it's not anything that's going to blow you away. But yeah, I just don't have much to add. Overall, fun game to play. Really fun gameplay. I like these Groundhog Day style games. I'll also talk about Outer Wilds someday, and that kind of has a premise, yeah, somewhat similar from just like the core themes. Um, the story is well written, it's fun, it's intriguing, and there's a lot of ways that it can end, and a lot of ways that you can change the outcome of the ending, which I thought were very fun. So I would say pick it up if you want to kind of have that gameplay detective experience, and if you want to kind of almost choose your own outcome adventure along the way. If you're looking for something fancy to listen to or something fancy to look at, this might not be the game, but I would applaud the developers for all the work that they put in to making it fun and engaging and interesting to explore. And the pacing of the game is what makes it so inviting, and it's because every time you loop yourself back through and you're experimenting in XYZ area, I think you're going to learn something and you're going to try something new. So that's really fun. And a big part of it is accessibility too. The game does not stop in terms of allowing you to have this experience of, oh, I found this new thing, or oh, I tried this new thing and it worked out. And so I think that really adds to its benefit. So, The Forgotten City. It was a pretty fun game. I would recommend it to everybody to check out. I think it's pretty cheap nowadays on the PlayStation Store. And yeah, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like the video. And would love for you to stick around for more in the future and chat games. Alright, until then, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in.